Yeah, I tried a lot of things to, firstly, I tried a lot of things to find fulfillment. So I was a broker in finance and I was making lots of money and I was, very successful, but I, had a lot of things that went along with that culture, a lot of drug use and a lot of partying, a lot of narcissistic, egocentric sort of tendencies that led to extreme stress imbalances. So what was happening was I was getting a strong stress response in the body. So in anxiety, panic attacks, depression, insomnia, eventually agoraphobia. So these are responses in the body determined by certain factors and certain things that we're doing in our life. And so I tried few different ways to get through that, to deal with those issues. And they weren't really quite getting there for me. Sorry, I'm really hot. It's scorching hot here
Yeah.
today. Then I found meditation. It was actually in a documentary. And I started watching this documentary about a property developer, and he was using meditation as a tool to help him be more successful. And he said, a lot of my success comes down to this meditation. So at that point, I was like a light bulb moment. And I thought, well, maybe I'll give that a try. And that's when I started to explore meditation and look into a lot of different techniques and types of meditation.
Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting. So you sort of hit that point where you knew it wasn't working for you anymore and you needed an alternative outlet and, coming home to self, really, isn't it? With meditation, you're going that deep dive and connecting with that inner wisdom. And what sort of process do you go through to do meditation? Because I have to say, I tend to do guided meditations because when I'm still, my mind's constantly running. Like I'm thinking all these thoughts rush in. I think, oh no, I mustn't think. I must clear my mind. And I have this sort of argument with myself when I'm trying to get into a meditative state. So what are the processes that you apply to yourself?
Yeah, look, trying to empty the mind and just still the mind is quite a challenging process, and one that I would imagine for most of us we'd struggle with, because the mind's natural tendency is not to be still. So trying to force the mind to do something it doesn't want to do, or asks the mind to do something it doesn't want to do, will be quite a challenge, and most likely you'll get a lot of resistance. So we need to have a technique that's going to help the mind find something more pleasant, more charming than thinking. And this is where the mantra comes in. So I use a technique called transcending meditation or Vedic meditation, where we use particular sounds or vibrations or mantras to almost like a luring effect, to like a carrot in front of a donkey. It eludes the mind to something more pleasant, more charming. It lures the mind. And so when you repeat this sound over and over again inside your head, what happens is it's like a kind of patting a baby on its back when it's in the cot.